was just feeling like I should do a podcast today. It's been on my mind for a while. And I've been out of state. I'll talk about that a little bit later at the end, but that's kept me away, and I've just been sort of like, since I've come back, been not very motivated to knit or do much, but I am starting to feel inspired. So I thought, well, I could at least jump on here and start talking about the things that I want to do and some things that I have going. And maybe once I get in the groove of talking about it, maybe that'll, get me inspired. Am I off center? So I love Gina from Skein Cocaine. She's awesome. She's hilarious. I think she lives in Virginia, but her yarn's beautiful. I have some of it. In fact, I'm going to probably order some soon. She has a coastal kit that's so pretty. It looks like the beach. And I thought it would be pretty in a V-back tee, which is a really cool pattern by Knitsafi or something like that. I'll try to remember to put it in the on the screen. So anyway, she did a WIPs or Works in Progress parade, and I felt like we were sisters when I watched that. Like, I actually got emotional because I really struggle with getting bored with projects and not finishing them. I mean, that represents a lot of things in my life, actually, but we don't have time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. But today we're just talking about knitting and getting bored, and I think it's really comes down to her and I are more of, again, I've mentioned this before, but we're more of a process knitter versus a project. Wait, was that right? Process. Yeah, we just enjoy the process. Oh, my cat is clawing up the curtains. She hasn't made an appearance yet, but she'll be here in a minute, my little co-host. But yeah, she's ripping my curtains to shreds. It's something else, but I don't know. I was thinking about getting a shaver, that you shave like wool, because, the curtains are made of like probably plastic, really, polyester maybe in there or something. So there's a lot of like ripped threads. I don't know. It's kind of embarrassing. I mean, it looks kind of bad, but I don't have that many people over, so it's not a big deal. But I was thinking I would shave it with one of those. Could get my hands on one. Yeah, I just cut my bangs, and they look okay right now, but I don't know. In the mirror, they look pretty like hacked up. So my hairdresser, I've said this like a million times on Instagram, but my hairdresser broke her arm, and she's like out of commission until July. So that sucks. Anyway, see, I'm getting sidetracked. So I was inspired by Gina because I was like, whoa, I feel, a lot of times I beat myself up because I have all these projects. Nothing's ever done. I think, I've been knitting like 5 or 6 years, and I've probably completed maybe 10 things. Truth be told, big or small, it doesn't matter what the project. I just the birds are good. But even like my Nisa sweater, it's getting hot. I pooped out on that. And I say to myself, oh, I don't need to be monogamous with this any longer because it's starting to get warmer. I make excuses, and I really should just finish things. But my brain just sometimes doesn't allow me. I just get so inspired by everything I see on social media, all the patterns. I truly could, I was thinking about it today. I could probably not buy yarn for the rest of my life and be fine. I absolutely, maybe even 2 lifetimes. I mean, I really have that much yarn. I really need to get going with my projects and just knit what I have and not buy more yarn. I mean, I've actually been really good. I've actually not purchased any yarn in months and months. So I'm proud of that. But anyway, back to the WIP parade. So I thought, oh, I'm going to do the same thing. Granted, Gina is like a really fast knitter. So she had probably, I'm not kidding, you guys. Like, you have to watch it. Skein Cocaine on YouTube. She probably had, I would say, upwards of 60 works in progress that were almost finished. Like, she's worse than me. She gets to the end and literally like could be a sleeve away from finishing and doesn't, or she finishes it and she doesn't weave in the ends or something. It's really close. So oh, and she's a beautiful knitter, and fast, so fast. So anyway, I thought I would do the same thing. I don't have as many, so, you know, she does the thing where she just puts them on and she doesn't do any sound and she just puts the name of the sweater in the designer. I probably won't do that. I'll just talk about it. But, yeah, so let's first talk about what I'm wearing. I've shown this one before. It's a Caitlin Hunter sweater. It's the Soldotna. And I really love the colors and how it came out. It's like a really good fit. It's 2 different colors. Now it's crop. The pattern calls for crop, but I mean, I'm not a crop person, so I will definitely knit to the bottom. I will make it longer. I mean, knit to the bottom. Does it make sense? I will knit it much longer. So I ripped out, you can see in the back is the same, it's hard to show you, but it's the same yarn as this one up here, as the collar. So, and the sleeves. Yeah. So I just need to make this one longer and I'm totally happy with it. Let's see, the yarn, the green is Machete Shop. I think the colorway is called Clairvoyant. It's gorgeous. The pinky peach, I think, is Storybook yarn. My friend Aubrey's store in Knits and Knots Tahoe, she is a dyer and her daughter's a dyer. And her daughter's name is Story. And she has started her own little line of yarn. So I'm kind of confused now. I don't remember which is which. I know Stories is Storybook. And then Aubrey, her mom, who did this yarn, is Storyteller. That's what it is. So anyway, beautiful yarns. I think this is Bay Street right here. I remember she was doing like a fundraiser or something. I think when they had all the fires in California, I think some of her family members lost homes and she was trying to raise money. So I think this colorway was during that fundraiser. Anyway, I think it's beautiful. It all works. So that's a WIP. I just pulled out bags and I'm like, I'm just going to unzip. This is, oh boy. See, I don't have the pattern. Oh yeah, Fading Point. And I may have shown this when I was podcasting with Elle before. But, you know, it's lovely. I actually love to do lace. I don't know why. It's just, I think it's very relaxing, therapeutic. But here's the thing. I am not only kind of ADD. I mean, I know I have ADD. I've never been diagnosed, but if I went to a neurologist or something, I think I would definitely be diagnosed with that. I have a lot of trouble with certain things, and I tend to be a perfectionist, and that's another reason that I don't finish projects. I perseverate on little things. Now this one is not a little thing, it's a problem. I mean, the middle spine of it, if you can tell, is off, like right here. I think what I did was I probably dropped the marker at some point and then put it back in the wrong spot. So, you know, I love my color choices, but I'm probably going to have to rip it back. So that I'm not looking forward to because it's lace and that's kind of hard to, so I might even start over, but you know what? It's a huge, huge shawl. Look at it. I mean, it's really big. So I don't know. It might be pretty with mohair too, you know? That would be cool. I can't believe Cosette hasn't joined us. What's up with my co-host today? She's not into it. Okay, so that's that. This one was one of the first things I started. I think it was one of the first things I started for somebody else. And this is called Mini Skein Sampler, and I will try to remember to put the designer here. But what's cool about this is that, and this pattern is very not adaptable, but you can kind of just adjust it to your liking. So I think in the original pattern, there isn't any, I think it's all like garter stitch, but I changed it up in between the garter stitch and did, like you can see the yarn overs that I added. Can you see them? The light in here is kind of weird. Anyway, but I love the colors. I was making this for a coworker, my very, very good friend at work, who I've worked with for like 6 years. I love her, and she loves jewel tones, so I thought this would be really pretty, but it's, of course, too short. But I'll get there. So that's one, or another one. Excuse me. Okay, this one is really sad. I think this was probably one of the first sweaters that I knit, and, or maybe it was the second one. I think once you knit one, you're like, oh, I'm so confident I can knit any sweater. And of course, I picked like one of the hardest sweaters. I mean, I wouldn't say it's the hardest, but for a beginning knitter, probably not the best choice. You know, cables. It's got, you know, a lot of ribbing around the it's a cardigan, so I haven't done the ribbing yet. But anyway, I really enjoyed doing it. It's beautiful yarn. I think it's Barocco alpaca something. It's like 50% alpaca. It's super soft, but actually the whole thing is okay, except until you get to, ow, here she is. She sees the yarn. She just clawed me. Get your little cat butt up here. Come on. You want to say hi to the people? Come on. Come on. Come here, baby. Okay, anyway. So I took it to my local yarn store, which is Monarch Knitting in Pacific Grove. I'm in California. And the gal there, one of the, you know, she's, I think, pretty prolific. She looked at this and said, oh my God, what happened? Like my sleeve. And I guess the way that I don't know, I think I increased weirdly or something. I don't know. I mean, it's really hard for you guys to see. But there's a mistake. Like, it's definitely bigger here. And she just, I don't want to trash my yarn shop here, because I think I love those ladies over there. But there's one lady in particular, it was a long time ago, I'm not even sure she's there, but she kind of broke my spirit a little bit, because it was like, oh wow, that looks really bad. I would rip the whole thing out, is what she told me. So I kind of just went home and was like, I don't want to ever work on it again. It kind of bummed me out. But anyway, this is called, I think it's a Hanaphetic. I'll have to look and see. I don't even recall, but I think it's called Best Coast or something like that. Actually, that's a band. It's something I think it's Coastal Cardigan. I'll put all the information probably either in show notes or here on the screen. I think you guys like having it on the screen. Okay, this one's really fun. And to be honest with you, so I have to let you in on a little secret. It's probably a little TMI or personal, but I don't mind. So I have been approved for breast reduction surgery, which I'm really excited about because, you know, it's just a lot of weight to carry. It's all where all my weight goes. Right now I'm pretty overweight, the most I've ever been in my life. I'm sure a lot of it's due to being pretty sedentary during COVID. I'm definitely not sedentary. Now I'm back at work and I'm always on the go. When I'm at home, I'm a homebody. So yeah, I'm sitting I think what it is I'm sitting, nothing's really changed with my behavior or the patterns, but my metabolism is slowing down. I'm getting older and, you know, my habits are kind of catching up with me. So my back is starting to hurt. I have shoulder lines. I mean, I've always been very conservative with the way that I dress to hide my breasts. And it's really, I think it's going to be life-changing. I'm really excited about it to be, you know, my whole life since I was a teenager. I remember going bathing suit shopping and just being so self-conscious and not, you know, I was like this big around everywhere else and had these gigantic boobs and I got made fun of. It, you know, it really, like in 4th grade, I started developing much earlier than a lot of my friends. And so that, you know, girls are mean, you know, at least back then. I feel like in the, you know, 70s and 80s, well, I was born in 75, but, you know, I was early 80s kid growing up, a lot of bullies, but yeah, it definitely shapes you. I mean, I don't want to get too deep about that, but I'm just saying, like, I'm really excited because a lot of issues around my knitting stem from not knowing how to make things fit, for being a rather petite person and having, you know, these big boobs. So that was the problem with this sweater. So this is the Turtle Dove by Espace Tricot, Melissa, I forget her last name. And I already knit one Turtle Dove and I absolutely love it. It's such a great pattern. It's so easy. I would say it's the best like beginning knitter pattern. And it has a split hem on the side. Obviously I'm not done with this one, but this is like the prettiest striped wool. I don't know if I have the ball band for it. If I find it, I'll put it here. But isn't it so gorgeous? I mean, these are like all my favorite colors, and this is so pretty up top. So what I think I'm going to do, because right now it's just too tight. It's too tight. But once I have my surgery and I'm a little lighter up top, I think it's going to look pretty good. So I'm not going to rip it out, actually, and I have all the yarn. I just need to keep going. And I think it'll be really pretty when it's done. It's probably my favorite knit. It's just sad, you know, when you knit something that you love so much and you just don't feel comfortable wearing it. It's not a good feeling, you know. We should all be super confident in how we look, and not have these hang-ups. But they're, you know, a lot of them just stem from childhood, and they're really hard to conquer. So I actually have gotten close to doing that reduction surgery for years. I've been to 2 consults and then I've like chickened out. So I'm excited but nervous, but I think it's going to really be great. So anyway, Hope that wasn't too personal. I should have warned you. I should have waited till the end, but I wanted to talk about this sweater and why I'm not going to rip it back. And I wish you could like touch it. It's such a neat wool. It's spongy, light. It's 100% wool. I know that. I just love, this is like my favorite color, green. Okay. Oh, and you know, it's got this mock turtleneck, which a lot of people don't like. I love this. I love how the gradient, the gray, it goes to gray. I think it's, I mean, with the exception of this sweater, I think it's strange to have, I mean, this one doesn't have too high of one, but like an actual turtleneck with short sleeves is weird to me. I just don't, it's like an oxymoron. I don't know. So I will definitely add, I will make the sleeves long. Anyway. So that, oh, I should try them on though. Here, I'll try this one on. Because I did wear a tank top. So it would be easy to go. Oops. Oh, and my earring fell off. I wanted to talk about my earrings. Oh no. Who knows where the back went? Okay, I'll be right back. I'm going to cut this part out. Okay, I'm back. So I just went ahead and put this on while I was off camera. But you can see it's a good start, right? It's just too tight and, you know, it's crop. So, yeah, I'm going to fix it once I am feeling better about wearing it. So that's that. That's one thing I love about the Turtle Dove pattern. You should check it out because, oh, and another thing, all of her patterns, Espace Tricot, all of those, her patterns are all free. Oh, the neck is kind of tight. One thing I would change, I mean, it's not a big deal, but, you know, that was back when I didn't really know what I was doing too much. I would do the Jenny Super Stretchy Bind Off right here because it's a little stretchy, but not enough. Okay, so, like, I put these on hangers in my closet because I was like, I'm definitely gonna get back to those. Okay, so what's next? Okay, so this was a total epic fail. Pretty colors though, but now, like, I look at it, it probably would work as a tank top. So this is a tank top. I don't know the name of it, but it's I think it's called the Paxson tank. It came, you know, originally I bought it as a kit. It came with like cotton yarn. But I don't know, I ordered black and that was, you know, as a beginning knitter, I had no idea what I was doing. I don't like knitting with black yarn. Nobody does. It's the worst. I mean, it results in a great product or great project because black, you know, it matches with everything, but it's not fun to knit with. So anyway, I changed it up a bit and did some minis. I think these are minis, and I just kind of faded them. It's actually really cute. I think at the time I thought, this is way too big. Of course now, I don't think it is. So I don't know, maybe I will do something with it. The colors are really quite stunning. But the thing is, it's seed stitch. I love seed stitch, but a lot of people don't. But yeah, I mean, if you make a mistake, it's a bummer, right? Because you have to, then it throws off the entire thing. You really have to, it's not mindless. It's not completely mindless. You do have to pay attention a bit. But, yeah, maybe I'll do something with that. See, what do you know? I told you if I started talking and getting into a rhythm, then I might just be inspired to finish. Okay. What else? This isn't even really worth showing. I mean, Gina showed things that she wasn't sure what they were, but this is a shawl made out of bamboo yarn. And I think I got down to, it just wasn't, I don't think I liked the stitch definition. It's just not very pretty, so I stopped. I like the color though. Let's see what else. Oh, even little teeny things. Look at this guy. So this is a pattern by Susan B. Anderson, and she does a lot of little toys and stuff, and this is for a witch. So here's her body. I kind of did it with minis, whatever I had around, and so I still need to do her little hat, and I think she even has a broom. See, I mean, I got bored with it. But little I-cord arms. See, I need to finish it. It's really cute, right? Okay. Oh, and it comes with a... Hey guys, it's me. Well, sadly, after this was recorded, Cosette found the tiny witch on the floor. Rest in peace, witch. Just finish it. I think I made a mistake on it. This is an Amba O'Brien pattern. It's a cardigan with a mosaic pattern at the bottom. Let me get this off so I can try it on. Oh, maybe I can't try it on. Well, oh. Should be able to. No, I can't. I have it on a big stitch holder, so it's not like waste yarn. It's much more forgiving. But I could pretend. So I think I used, my ex-boyfriend's mom is also a knitter, and she gave me a lot of beautiful yarn that she had, like some, I think for years. Oh no, I think I just ripped it off. So here's the pattern. As you can see, I got the first round okay, and then wah, I messed up somewhere. So that's going to have to be ripped back, which, I mean, is not that big a deal. But now I'm starting to wonder, I mean, it has, in the pattern, it calls for the same motif on the collar, on the ribbing. Instead of ribbing, it's the mosaic around. It's really lovely. And, I don't know, I think the yarn is really pretty. Yeah, we'll see. I don't remember the name of it. I'll try to put it in here though when I'm editing. Okay. Let's see what else. Oh, you're gonna get to see my first ever. Okay, I have a big linen bag full of fails. So this one I am super proud of, but it is such a mess. It's the Folded. It's called Folded, and it's by, oh boy. She's a Finnish designer. She hangs out with Johi Locatelli a lot. I cannot think of her name, but I love her. I love her patterns. You know, it would be cute like this. Kind of off the shoulder, maybe. I don't know. See? Once again. I mean, at the time I was like, whoa, this is way too big. But maybe if you wore it like that, I mean, I don't really wear things like that, but it's kind of cute. It has little pleats, actually, where... Oh, you know what? I have it on backwards. Hold on. Such a goofball. I'm probably not going to edit as much this time. It takes so long, you guys, and I really have better things to do. I mean, I should edit, but, I mean, I will edit a little bit, but... I'm not going to edit every little silly thing I say. Okay, so see the pleats in the front? I didn't know what I was doing. I mean, they're a mess. But it's still kind of fun. I mean, it is my first sweater, so... And it's so soft. I think I used Oyster and Pearls up here, which she does, like, all her stuff is organic and naturally dyed. So anyway, I like how it matches with my tank top, actually. Cute, right? Okay. So that's one that I mean, it's finished. It's just one of those where I'm like, I'm not wearing that. That looks ridiculous. Oh, okay. So here's my second sweater. Everyone knows the Deshane, which is it's really designed for linen. Well, I was like, nope, I'm going to be a rebel and do my own thing. Well, I picked the worst. I should have gone down, because tend to be a loose knitter. I should have gone down a couple sizes, needle sizes. The gauge was too big. I used wool yarn, like, like wool and spun yarn with linen, because I thought, oh, that'll give it some drape, and it just did not. So here we are. I mean, the color is gorgeous, but as you can see, again, the neck is ridiculous. So I don't know. I mean, maybe once I have my surgery, it's something that I would entertain, because it's not like, it won't be so like a tent. Because right now it's like a tent, right? I did not finish this sleeve because I got this far with it and I was like, this looks so big. I'm not going any further. So, yeah. I don't know. Whoa. But sometimes oversized sweaters are really cute. You know, they can be really cute. So, I don't know. What do you think? It's it's a beautiful combination of yarn. Kind of a mauve with cream linen. All right. What's next? Oh gosh. This is the Camp Wilkerson shawl. Can you see the mistake? Lovely. Isn't that terrible? Look at it. It's almost like a, excuse me, it's almost like a design element. Haha, not really. But, you know, I made that mistake. And this was probably one of the first things I knit. And as a beginning knitter, not knowing what I was doing, I was like, oh, I think it's supposed to be like that. So I just kept going. Look how much I did. Until I realized I wasn't proficient enough to recognize my mistake. So what do? Rip out the whole thing, or you just live with it? I don't know. I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I am back. My battery actually got really low, so I had to charge it a bit before I started recording. You'll notice probably in the middle of the video, oh, hello, Louise. In the middle of the video, my voice does not match up with my actions or what I'm saying. They don't line up. So it was a result of not having, having a low battery. So I'm back. I don't even know what we were talking about, but I think I was just at the very tail end of my WIPs. I think the only one that I didn't show was probably this one, which was the Moon Tea, I think it's called, by Tristan of Dragon Horde Yarn. I don't like it for a number of reasons. First of all, it's way too small. I would probably end up giving it to my niece. But I just don't think it's the colors are very pretty. I think it's too dark. I don't know. Maybe I'll send it to my sister and ask her what she thinks. But I kind of need to finish. Please get off the keyboard. Cats and keyboards. So I kind of leave my laptop up at all times because my friend Sarah graciously gave me a TV that I could stream, or not stream, but I could connect to my laptop so I could watch it on a bigger screen, because I haven't had TV for quite a while. I really don't miss it that much. I was never much of a TV person. I've always been interested in other stuff. But I do like documentaries, and I did watch a really good series on Netflix called The Serpent. You must watch it. It is so good. I watched all of it in one night. I had to binge it. It was so good. I highly recommend it. If you like, you know, dark, action-y kind of mystery. Not mystery, but it was based on a true story. And I don't want to give away too much, but the acting is really good. It's basically about this couple who they are jewelers, but they're thieves, and they do a lot of things. I think in the 70s, you know, in Asia, there were a lot of like people going there to discover themselves. Like it was definitely like a place for like the hippie movement and stuff. And so there was this, so it was based on this couple who kind of targeted young people and coerced them with like partying and drugs and jewels, all the fun stuff. And then they ended up like they were missing people. I don't want to tell you the end, but it's just gripping. You're like on the edge of your seat the whole time. Every episode, you're like, oh, I can't wait. So it's really good. Another one that I recommend is Normal People. I might have mentioned that before. I watched it a long time ago, but it's really good. It's on Hulu. And it's sort of a coming of age story. And it's another one's excellent. I just kept watching it. I think I probably spent the whole weekend. I do that. I need to get out more. Once I'm home, like I live in the most beautiful place on the planet. Seriously. Minutes from the beach. Like I have no excuse. I will say that during the weekend here, when it starts to get warm, going to the beach for local people is not very fun because parking is an issue. I mean, I have my special little spots that I park at the beach, but I just don't like all the crowds. And during the week, I'm so pooped from work that, you know, it's just one of those things. I do go to the beach, but not enough. I should be over there like, you know, a couple times a week, and it just doesn't happen. Anyway, I don't know why I got on that rant. So I do have my little podcast notes here. So I do have sort of a plan. So yeah, that's the end of my little WIP parade. I do feel inspired now that I've gotten them all out to maybe finish them. I just had the Camp Wilkerson shawl on while my phone was charging, and you know the way it looks, it's so big. You know, you can wear it all different ways. I mean, it's almost like a shirt in and of itself, like a tank. You know, you could wear some like just a white t-shirt underneath or a tank top, and this whole thing would just take over. It's so pretty, and then you could get like one of those it's like it looks like a bracelet, but you use it to cuff your shawl together. I mean, how pretty is that? I should just finish this bad boy, right? Anyway, because this is good yarn. I think this is Quince & Co. yarn. Like, this is this is not a cheap project by any stretch. Okay, so I have a bad habit of, and I'm sure some of you can relate to this, I promise people knitting, I promise that I'm going to knit them things, and it's just, they're empty promises. I feel really bad about it. The one I'm really feeling bad about is, so Audrey, which I talked about my little friend Audrey that I take care of, and the sweater that I knit her, but I also, Cody, her brother, he is a knit-worthy little guy too. He's not so much into the sweaters, I don't think, yet, but he did ask me to make him a Star Wars bird. And, you know, I promised that I would make this a while back. We looked up the pattern together one day when I was there, and he was on it. Like, he wants this. It's called a Porg. Never heard of it. I'm not really a Star Wars person, but I think it's later on in the newer movies. I mean, this is it's a tiny little toy, but he's been on my tail about it. Every time I see him, he's like, Stephanie, have you finished my bird yet? So it's so cute. I was there the other day watching them, and he had a Star Wars sticker book, and he was doing something and being really quiet, and then he came over and gave me this, and he said, this is a reminder for you to make my bird. So how can I deny him? Come on, I should have been working on this all weekend. I'm such a bad person. I will get to it. So that's one thing I need to do. I have a couple birds in the works. Even those have been hard for me to finish for some reason. 2 for friends. Oh, I did finish one for my friend Sarah's mother. It was her birthday, and I love her. Well, I made the bird, and it came out so weirdly. Let me see if I can find it. It came out so weird that I don't think I can actually gift it or do anything with it because it's so weird looking. Where is it? I know it's in here somewhere. I feel like today I'm just tearing all my shit apart in my house. It's like I'm going through all my bins looking for stuff and I can't find anything. I'm pretty unorganized. Sorry guys, I can't find it. But it was a weird bird. I did not like how it turned out. Usually I like all their differences, but this one didn't even look like a bird. So it wasn't much to work with. I must have forgotten to do something in the pattern. I can't figure out what it was. So yeah, but I've got a couple birds that I owe people. Okay, so this next one, and I know she's not going to watch this, but my ex-boyfriend, I don't want to go way into it, but his daughter is graduating from a really prestigious law school, and she is such a sweet girl, and smart, and just persevered through a lot of challenges and not a whole lot of support. And I just think she's fantastic. And so I want to knit her something that is professional and polished looking because, maybe she could use it to go to work. So I was thinking of, I do have some really beautiful cashmere, but it's red. I have red and gold, and I don't know, something about red and gold, it just reminds me of like ketchup and mustard, a cow with ketchup and mustard. I don't know, or McDonald's or something. I don't know. It's like their play. I don't know. I have this image of that. So I just ended up asking her what her 2 favorite colors are, because this pattern, Escher's Dream, I'll put it right here. It was made out of Clinton Hill cashmere, which is wildly expensive, out of my budget. I think it's like $90 a skein. But I do have 100% cashmere that was Lion brand. They used to make that. They no longer do. But I did manage to swipe some. I don't know why I picked red though, because I'm not a red person. But yeah, so her answer was she loves blue. All shades of blue. And so now I'm on a hunt for something that I could incorporate. I don't know. I have to figure it out. I'm thinking I might do mohair, but that's really close around your neck. So now I'm rethinking, maybe I could find a 1 skein project, because her graduation is like fast approaching. It's mid-May. So if any of you have any good ideas for something really polished, like this had a houndstooth colorwork pattern on it. Super simple, just like rib, 1 by 1 rib on top and bottom. It was just a really close neck cowl. So if I did that one, I would have to stick with something really, really soft. And I don't really have anything like that. Most of my stuff is pretty woolly, or very variegated. And I don't think that would work with a pattern like that. You need it to be very contrastive and defined. So I don't know. I'm looking into that. The other option is I could do something really like light and airy. And I don't know. I could do it with mohair and make it look fancy. This wouldn't take long. This is another Espace Tricot. Espace Tricot, is it? Actually, it's from Lisa. She's the other half of Espace Tricot. So it's two ladies that own the shop, and you know, they're both designers. And so this is Lisa, and she knit this one out of. So this is a linen, which would be pretty. I have some black linen, or even black cotton. Yeah, I don't know. I think this would be super pretty held with mohair. I have some really pretty like black smoky blue with blues in it. I could do blue as the under. I don't know, I might try it, because this one would be really quick. I don't know. So this one's called Étoile Maritime. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that, but I know that Lisa speaks French and she's Italian, so. Okay. So I have talked about this project that I'm about to fill you in on like a million times. And I've struggled with the color choices. I mean, I've been promising this shawl to this person for, oh my gosh, since we were in COVID, since the pandemic started, pretty much. And I just, I don't know why I'm just like freaking out about what colors. So remember when I showed you the yarn, I changed from the rustic yellow to a more polished, more variegated but goldy, gray, grello kind of yarn. Actually, I have it right here. So it went from, you know, this one, which is super rustic, but it's wonky because it's not consistent. You know, it's a fingering weight that is just kind of different thicknesses throughout. This is the one that I had changed to. This is just a knit picks with nylon, a little bit of nylon and wool, 80-20, 20% polyamide, which I think is nylon. Which it's beautiful, but once I got going with it, it's not enough contrast with the other two colors. Like the white is on the outside of the mosaic and it just does, you can't see it. So it was like back to the drawing board. So I started looking through Natasha Hornsby's patterns, the one that designed that, and every single one of her patterns is gorgeous. The one that really jumped out at me that I might change to for this person is called the Anthe shawl. And I'll put a picture right here. And there's you know, you can go in, as most knitters know, you can go into Ravelry and you can see, you know, people post their finished sweaters. And so, sorry, finished shawls or finished products. I keep saying projects, finished projects. And, you know, you get inspiration that way with the colors. I always do that. So, excuse me, Dinah from the Knitting Place, she just has an eye for color. She did one that was similar to the Anthe shawl. So it was like this is making the pink look really bright. It's blowing it out, but it's a really like light pink. This is Tana's Fiber Arts, which is really nice. And then I don't even know what this is, but I thought it was a pretty kind of a reddy brown, like it's got red in it. with this from the original, you know, the original yarn I was going to use for this shawl. So the Anthe shawl is huge. That's the only thing. So now I'm like, oh, it's much bigger than the one that I wanted to knit. But I like the pattern of the Anthe shawl better. I think it's so much prettier. So I don't know. I'm going to text her and see if she likes those colors. I'm embarrassed almost to send it to her because she's going to know that I haven't really, I'm still not started officially on it. I don't think she cares, but you know, it's just like, get with it. I mean, it shouldn't take me a year to do this. So again, just getting distracted by other things, you know. So the other thing that I have on the needles that I actually am sure about, well, I don't know, because I think I made a mistake, is Frog and Toad. So Frog and Toad, I'm going to put a picture. Such an adorable pattern, right? So I got to work right away. Like I went into my, you know, they had kits they were selling. They were sold out. So I wouldn't have bought one anyway because I have a mini yarn store in my house, as we just talked about. Actually, my tripod is my like backpack. It's all set up on top of course, my yarn that I chose for Frog and Toad. But I have all the perfect yarn for it. This is Frog. Then I have a brown color for Toad. It's, you know, it's a kind of a unique, but I think it'll look cute. Then a lot of rustic yarn for their clothes because they have he's got little swim trunks on. You saw the picture anyway. So I'm working on that, except that I think I might have put the holes for the arms in the wrong spot. Somehow I messed that up. So I don't know. I have his chin, so it starts from here, and this is his chin, I think. See? But his arms are here where this needle is. One arm. Oh, uh-oh. Where's the other arm? I did have two needles. No, that's not the markers for the arms. Where are the arms? Oh, here they are. Okay, so yeah. So here are the markers. Here are the holes for the arms, so you can see. But his chin is over here, I think. So what do I do about that? I don't know. I mean, that took me, I think, a whole weekend, last weekend. Anyway, if I do finish that, I'm going to keep it for myself because it's just too cute. I'm selfish. So I think that's probably it. Or hold on. So yeah, that's it for what I'm currently like struggling to finish and work on and figure out. Those are kind of my struggles. But I do have a lot of dream knitting that what I'd like to do is stop promising people things and just focus on myself. I really don't want to knit for anybody anymore. I just want to knit for myself. I know that sounds jerky, but I would get a lot more done, I think. Just less worry about, oh, I have to get this gift. I like giving, like if I was faster knitter, it would be a joy, but it's really sort of a burden I put on myself. No one asks me. I do it to myself. It's just interesting why I do that when I know that I can't finish things unless I'm really like under pressure. I don't know how to explain it, but hopefully I'll get the graduation present done. I'll get the Anthe shawl started, and I'll start to feel better about the things that I've promised. I definitely need to get on that Star Wars bird. Mr. Cody's going to have my head. Okay, and so speaking of Moonstruck Yarns and Patricia Hornsby, she just came out with her newest pattern, you guys. It is so lovely. It's called the Daisy Tee. I will insert a picture. And it's fingering weight. You know, all her testers did it in a lot of different yarns, you know, ranging from just fingering with wool or linen. So a lot of them used moondrake, which I actually had slated this for a different tea that I had talked about a couple episodes ago, but I think I've changed my mind to this one. So I think what I'm going to do is, you know, the main body, this, which is called driftwood. It's so pretty. Look at the speckles. So it's 10% linen and 90% superwash merino. And then this could be the little flowers. I think brown and blue is so pretty together. So that's what I'm going to do for that whenever I get to it. I've been talking about this sweater forever, but the Anchor Tee, which is by Petite Knits, I bought this yarn last summer from the knitting place because they had showed it, and this yarn, they just rave about this yarn. So it's a linen yarn. Linen cotton. Let's see. It might just be cotton, actually. Oh, no. It's 53% baumule. I don't know what that is. Maybe, I don't know. 33% viscose. Oh, it's bamboo. And then 14% linen. It's just in a different language. But yeah. Isn't that pretty? I love that buttery yellow. So I'm going to do the Anchor Tee. I thought I had the pattern in here, but I'll put a picture right here. Yep. So those are kind of on, because those are summery knits. Maybe I'll finish that tank top that I showed you guys. But I need to get crack-a-lack in here because it's really ridiculous how I procrastinate on everything or stop working on things just because I get bored. So I guess that's it for the knitting. So I guess I'll get into personal stuff. So if you're not into that, you can click off, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for joining. If you're interested in my life, personal stuff. So I just went to Florida. I haven't really talked about this in any of the other podcasts because it's a heavy topic. But my mom suddenly passed away in September. And, you know, with COVID and everything, it's been really hard to, and she lived in Florida along with my grandparents, my aunt, and the rest of my maternal side. It's a pretty small family. I have a very small family. She leaves behind her husband of like 30 years. Yeah, she was only 64. It's been really hard to process. I don't think I've fully processed it. You know, I kind of just go on autopilot a lot because I live alone and I have a lot of responsibility, and I just can't let myself grieve too heavy. For maybe a few minutes, you know, here and there, I'll remember something and it'll come out, but I'm not a crier. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie Holiday. I'm that person, you know. Her thing was she never cried, and it was like, it was bad. I feel like it's bad. I wish that I could cry. I think it would be a great release. But I just can't. It comes out in little teeny ways. The weirdest things will trigger it. It's usually when I see somebody else showing somebody, you know, a lot of esteem or affection. Just anybody loving each other usually makes me cry. Like, it's weird. Like weddings and little kids doing really precious stuff. I don't know. I'm a weirdo. But this grief thing, you know, it was weird because my mom lives so far away. Admittedly, it was 4 years since I had seen her. And not that we were on bad terms or anything. It's just we have busy lives. It was hard to get over there. You know, I'm a single income girl out in California, so it's really tough for me to save the money to travel over there. And yeah, you know, Florida's Florida. It definitely, when I go back, it's a mixed bag of emotions. This time it was really tough. It just felt like such a hole in my family. My grandparents are getting older. Everybody's getting older. It's just, we're all aging. You know, it's morbid. You know, it's morbid, but you realize, you know, we're all dying. You know, I shouldn't say that, but that's what it felt like. So just being real. So I was happy to see my family, but also very worn out emotionally. I don't remember yeah, we did. I know we did. So Elle and I designed a hat for my mom and showed it, I think maybe our first or second podcast. I mean, this is only episode 6, so it's somewhere in there, but you know, she had told me her hair was thinning, and I mean, it's Florida, but she said sometimes, like in, you know, the winter months, I mean, it really gets cold. Like cold months in Florida are usually like February, March. That's probably the coldest. And she was telling us that, you know, her head gets super cold. So she really would like a knitted hat. So Elle designed it. I asked my mom what colors she would like. And so we made this little hat. I think it was all mini skeins. I'm a big fan of mini skeins. So Elle knit on some of it. It was a total collaboration. And I sent it to her. I really love sending her care packages. I mean, I would only do it like maybe once a year, but I would send her washcloths and things that I knitted. I think one time I sent her some pom-pom party slippers. I will try to show you. I'll put it on here and show you a picture of them. They were really cute. They were turquoise. That's her favorite. That was like her favorite color. And I think that yarn was really luxurious that I had used for her slippers. I don't think it was a washable, which is kind of silly, but I wanted them to be really soft. And so I think I did some sort of cashmere on that one. But I think what's really hard about this hat is that I never got a picture of her in it, and I feel really sad about that for some reason. I would just give anything for that. So I took it home with me. You know, my stepdad was there, like, very willing to give me anything I wanted of hers. And I don't really like doing stuff like that. It's not comfortable for anybody. I don't know. But then it's like, well, you know, I'm traveling. I can't take a whole lot, but I also want some things to, you know, of my mom's, and, you know, things, we sort of have the same. She was like a half size bigger than me in her feet. We both have little teeny baby feet, but she's like a 6.5. I'm like 5.5, 6. So I took a lot of the shoes. My mom had some really good shoes that were like not even used, like hiking boots and really cute flip-flops and loafers, like things I will actually wear. So that was really cool. Some of her sweaters I got. And this beautiful ring. Oh, you can't really see it, can you? Interesting, it's not showing up at all. Anyway, it was like my mom's Victorian, like, prized possession. I wish you could see it. It's a really pretty diamond ring. Anyway, And I got her fuzzy robe. Really cool. But sad, you know? Yeah. Not easy. Life is so uncertain. It's fleeting. You know, sometimes it feels like it's a really long life at times. And then other times you feel like, man, it just was, that person went in a blink. You know, it's just crazy. Anyway, on to other things. I will say this. I ordered, there's this company that you can send in photos and then they send you back a canvas printed from your photo and then with paints, and it's a paint by number. So I did that for my mom's, one of my mom's high school pictures that I think represents her. She, you know, there's always sort of this little sadness about her. You know, she was tough, spunky, but she always had, like, you know, she wasn't a, you know, she's going to smile for the camera. It was just, the picture is just so her in her angst. She was probably in high school then. But I just thought, hey, I want to paint this. So I started on it. Maybe next time I'll show it to you. It's really not, I mean, I just started, so it doesn't look like anything. But I just thought that was a neat idea. So if I can, I will pop the company name here. And it came really quick. I think it was like $40. So what else can we talk about? I don't usually talk about books, but I mean, I do have a few here sitting here that I have been, don't even read anymore. You know, the phone is, I'm always on my phone. Now I've been playing games. I don't even play games, but suddenly I'm doing that. It's just a big waste of time. It's time you can never get back, that you could be doing other things more productive. Like, why do I need to play a game, you know, shifting wooden blocks? I mean, I think it's good for your brain a little bit, but enough's enough. So I need to start reading is my point. I do have an Audible account, but I know a lot of people like to listen to books. That's hard for me, but I need to probably get rid of that subscription because I have like 14 credits. So if you guys have any book recommendations, I would greatly appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, it can be something super light. I love things that are, you know, easy read. I love all kinds of books. So I'm not into love stories. I don't like that. And I'm probably not a sci-fi person either, but anything like even nonfiction, things to learn about, self-help books. I mean, that would be, you'd have to have more specifics, but yeah, anything that you recommend, I would love to hear. So this book, my girlfriend gave me, and I still haven't started it, shame on me, but she really recommended it for, you know, getting through a broken heart and healing through, you know, the traumas that we have that occur in life. So I need to, and she's not the only one that's recommended this, so I will read this and let you know. My cousin just sent me this, which I'm not saying I'm going to go out and do psychedelics, but he sent it to me because it's interesting, the studies that have been done around this topic and how, you know, psychedelics, it says how to change your mind, what the new science of psychedelics teaches us about consciousness, dying, addiction, depression, and transcendence. Pretty interesting. And then this one has been sitting there looking at me forever. I started it, I think, and I know it's a good book, and I want to read it. So those are the three that I'm, you know, before I even get into anything else, I want to finish those. Oh, cool story. Sorry, you guys, this one's really long, isn't it? Okay, so when I went to Florida, I was very anxious, obviously, because it had been 4.5 years since I've seen my family. And I was flying, you know, in a pandemic, and, you know, it's just, it's a long flight. I mean, I had to wear a mask for 10 hours, you guys, like straight. It sucked. So anyway, the first leg of my flight, I flew out of San Jose into Burbank. It was a pretty quick flight, I think like an hour. Lo and behold, okay, so, you get on the plane. I rode Southwest, so they don't assign seats. It's just first come, first serve. Whoever had what do they call that? Check-in first. That's basically, they line you up. Most of you have probably ridden Southwest. Anyway, so I get on the plane. I think I was in B group. There was still, people tend to fill up in the back, which is interesting to me. I guess they feel like they should. I mean, it is kind of the right thing to do, I guess. But I walked by the front. I never sit in the front, but I walked by, and this little lady was sitting there on the aisle side, and I thought, I mean, that's like perfect. I'll just sit there next to the window. I can see out. She seems, like she's doing her own thing. So I sit down, and after a while we start talking, and I mean, it was just amazing. So it turns out she's Betsy Franco, who has authored over 80 children's books. I looked her up and I couldn't believe it. Here's the bonus. She is the mother of James and Dave Franco, the actors. I took a picture with her. I'll put it right here. We have the best connection. She was like, oh, I feel like I have known you my whole life. And I felt the same about her. It was that she was so sweet, unassuming. It's like, you're a rich woman sitting on Southwest. Like, why aren't you taking a private jet somewhere? She just didn't. She said, I don't live my life like that. I work hard. I've worked hard for what I have. She told me, a lot of how she got started with it. Because, writing children's books has always been a dream of mine. Like collaborating with Elle, that would be so awesome. Because Elle's an artist, and it would be really fun to write a children's book with your kid, So anyway, that was really amazing. And at the end of the flight, she got my contact info. She said, I'm really bad. I'm old now. I mean, she was like 73. She said, if you keep in touch with me, I will keep in touch with you. But you just have to remind me. And she said, I would love for you. She said, I just wrote a new book. I think it's like a teen series or young adult. And she said, they're going to have like a book premiere. And she said, I'd love for you to come. I mean, I don't know if I can come. I think it's in LA, but anyway, that was just really a treat. And I felt like my mom was there with me, telling me to sit there. And it felt very serendipitous, synchronicity, I guess, is a good word. It's just strange how things happen, but it really helped settle my anxiety. Of course, the big damper of the trip was, I got there, I think the next day I started having back pain, and it was a back pain that was different. It was very dull, and it was only on one side, radiating up my back. So I've had that before, and I knew that it was not like a pulled muscle. I was pretty sure it was a kidney infection. So I was kind of hem-hawing about it, but it just kept getting worse. So my aunt took me to the urgent care. Sure enough, it was a kidney infection. But what sucks about that is that the doctor said, well, it probably started as like asymptomatic bladder infection, or UTI. And what can you do? If you have no symptoms and then all of a sudden it's to your kidneys, it's very scary. So, Yeah, I was in a lot of pain. I was pretty miserable most of the trip. It really you know, when you're fighting an infection like that, on top of having all that emotional upheaval, it's really hard to recover. And I think that that's part of why when I got, like, I haven't done anything in my house. My house is a wreck. Yeah, it's because I even have one little tiny suitcase over there that I hadn't unpacked, like my extra things that I brought. I mean, it's been 2 weeks, guys. So I'm just keeping it real, you know, mental health, you know, check in with your friends. Luckily I do have friends here that check on me. I work with some really good folks, but I just think about the people that are absolutely alone with, you know, I don't have much family locally, but I know that if I didn't show up for work, people would wonder. So I at least have that going for me. But times are hard and there's a lot of loss and people are going through a lot. So just be kind. That's my main message. Just be kind. And see, when you're kind, things happen. You know, you get to sit next to Betsy Franco on the plane. It's pretty cool. Anyway, oh, and I said I was going to plug my friend's beautiful earrings. Aren't they lovely? They're kind of like Art Deco-ish. I know my battery is dying again. That's why my mouth is not matching up. I apologize, guys. I don't think it really matters, though. Anyway, this is my friend Stephanie Lee Painter. And she has 2 shops, I think. She's on a new project, but this is from her solo work, I think. Now she's working with a girlfriend too. They're collaborating on stuff. So I think she probably still sells these, but I just love them. Aren't they gorgeous? One thing I would like another pair that I love this color, because look, I even have it on my, she made me a cut. But they're so close to my regular skin color that I think I'd like to have something pop a little more, maybe like green. That would be super cool. Anyway, I guess I'm done. I will end with this. I want to do some sort of giveaway for a number of reasons. I mean, I feel like if I'm going to be out there on YouTube, it's slow going. I mean, I barely have any followers, but it might help generate a little more followers, and maybe I could figure out how to, I don't know, do something towards a charity. I don't know how to do that kind of stuff. You would think I would because I'm in education, but yeah. So give me a moment, but stay tuned. I think I am going to just go through my stash and maybe get rid of some skeins and give them away. And I'll come up with some sort of something that will at least maybe help get a charity more followers or something. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, I hope you guys are having had a good weekend. By the time I post this, it'll be well past the weekend. But yeah, and I haven't talked about my roller skates in a while. They're in the car, but another TMI moment, but back to my chest surgery. I film my progress when I'm doing roller skating. I mean, I just started. I really haven't been on the skates hardly at all because I one day filmed myself and I couldn't believe what I saw. I was so horrified by all the weight in my chest and how I can hardly skate because it's so much. And so that's really discouraged me too from pursuing something that I used to love to do. I think that's how I know it's time to do something about it. And I mean, yeah, I'm trying to lose weight, but again, yeah, sure, I could lose like 20 pounds. That's really what I need to lose to get back to my original weight. But I'm telling you guys, a lot of it is here and it's so miserable. I think I'm at I won't tell you what size. That's probably too personal, but it's really, really big and uncomfortable. So Yeah, I wish I could love that part of me, but it's difficult. And when it starts to affect my everyday life, I think it's time to do something about it. So anyway, that's my spiel. And but I did change my wheels on my roller skates to these really cool blue ones. I actually did a story, I think, on Instagram because I did all the bearings and stuff myself. It was really easy, actually. So I'll post that. Okay. So anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you guys have a great week, and I'll catch up with you next time. Bye.
Is what you're saying.